Hi everyone, this is a video about the different kind of teaching English courses you might look at doing when you're looking to move to Argentina to teach English. Um, and originally I was looking at a package offered by a company I found online where you go to Argentina, you do an intensive teaching English course as part of it. Also, what you pay goes towards accommodation that they find for you. You also do some Spanish lessons while you're there, and there's some excursions and some, like tango lessons while you're there. And also, they have good links with different schools in Argentina and possibly colleges. I can't quite remember. So that's what I was looking at. It seemed like it had the main thing that I was looking for, which was the connections with schools, which is something that I wasn't really sure how I would do that myself. So I thought, okay, this looks like it does kind of everything. It's a pretty easy, straightforward way of moving to Argentina and teaching English. So everything is organized for you. So that was my thinking, and I thought, yeah, let's go with this. The company seemed pretty legit from what I could see online. Um, and then I had a phone interview with them. And at that point, I did start doubting what was going on. I'm not going to mention the company's name, as I think they're the kind of company that might actually see me, to be honest. But yeah, in that phone interview, I found the person very salesy. They were really pushing me to pay a very large deposit straight away, almost at the start of the phone call, which was bizarre. They didn't have much detail about what was involved, and particularly the key part that I was interested in about the kind of links with schools, kind of what level of English teaching the classes were that you got, the course that you did. So I thought, okay, I'll end that call. I'm not going to transfer them any money, but I'm going to do a bit more research before I commit to anything. And what I found online on TrustAdvisor is that although they had quite a good rating, there was a lot of very bad reviews in with the good reviews. And actually, the good reviews were really short and quite vague, whereas the bad reviews were very long and very detailed. So the good reviews looked a little bit like they weren't real, to be honest. So reading the bad reviews in more detail, some of the complaints were things like the placements that people did were in places that they really didn't enjoy. They weren't very good schools. They had a really miserable time, and there was no way of them getting out of that placement because of the links that the company had with that school. So they had to stay to the end. So things like that really rang alarm bells for me. And I spoke to a friend of mine who's done teaching English abroad, and his advice was to do a CELTA course. So that's a teaching English course that you can do in the UK or in other countries as well. And it was created by Cambridge University, and that's the university that accredits it. So every centre that does CELTA is meeting the high standards of Cambridge University. And he said, in terms of these kind of teaching English courses that you can do, these kind of intense 4-week courses, CELTA is really the gold standard. It's recognized across the world as being of a very, very high standard of course that you can do. And that was his experience of doing it. That it wasn't just a box ticking exercise. He actually learned a huge amount doing it. So he said, look, don't go with one of these companies. They're really aimed at people who might be fresh out of university. They're really unsure about the process of teaching abroad, moving abroad, and it's a lot of money for things that you can do and find for yourself. And also you can do a CELTA course, which is going to be better recognized in the country that you move to. So I've taken his advice and I've signed up for a CELTA course, which is taught in London. It's a 4-week intensive face-to-face course. So it's not in country, but I feel like I will come out of that with having learned a huge amount about teaching English and with a really decent qualification. So I'll do another video on that shortly.